Hello, Rebecca here for Peartree Cutfiles, and today I'm showing you how I made this layout using the Build a Flower cut file from the March 2021 release. And I've used a foil quill today. You can see it going through my scan and cut machine there to make beautifully foiled gold flowers. So I used the draw function in my scan and cut machine, and the draw function sort of etches the foil onto some watercolour paper so I can paint the flowers with some watercolour. And I've just used the cutting function there just to cut them out after I have foiled them. So really gorgeous tool, and really just adds a different element to using cut files, makes them look a little bit different. So I've mixed up some paints, some watercolours in the sort of shades that come in the Vanilla Studio Daydream collection. Really versatile collection. I've never made a layout that I haven't really enjoyed making with this collection. It's just so beautiful, and it is quite sort of adaptable to both male and female layouts, but because I was using flowers and sort of pretty elements in this layout, I've made it a layout about me, which isn't something that I actually do very often. I don't think I am particularly comfortable scrapping about me, which is such a shame. But you know, I do try to from time to time, but I just feel a bit uncomfortable scrapping pictures of me for some reason. I probably need to remedy that. So I've used a background pattern paper. I wanted something that was pretty muted, so I could have the flowers standing out against it. So I've picked this polka dot pattern paper, and the back of it is just so gorgeous as well. And I really wanted a bit of that peeking through, so I fold down that top corner, and I think that helps balance out the page as well, because there's quite a big cluster down in that bottom corner, and I think having something up on that top left just helps to balance the page out a little bit in the end. So I folded that down, and I've added a bit of just some scrap paper from my scrap paper box. I always keep white paper scraps in a separate box to everything else. It's just I use them all the time for things like this, and I've adhered that all down. So I'm starting to sort of work out where I'd like the clusters to be. You can see the gorgeous gold foiling when the flowers catch the light there, and I've added just a bit of machine stitching as a border and across that folded down flap as well, just to give it a bit of interest, sort of focuses the eye into the middle of the page a little bit. So there we go. I have picked a photo of myself. I say I feel a bit awkward scrapping photos of me, which is dreadful really. A nicely filtered Instagram selfie of me on Easter Saturday. I had just made a chocolate martini, which you have to have on Easter weekend, don't you? So I'm going to scrap that, and I'm just sort of mounting it on, well, I'm going to give it a little bit of a white border with just, again, some scrap white paper and a little bit of tissue paper just to sort of make it a bit softer, those edges. Apologies again for my lighting. I'm sure I say this in every video. It's a nightmare in my craft room for lighting. So now that I have trimmed out and mounted that photo, I'm going to tuck it behind that cluster of flowers, so the flowers overlap the photo. And I wanted my title to be Happy Days. These little black titles come out of the die cut titles pack. I didn't really like the black though. I felt like there wasn't much else that was black on the page, and I felt that I stuck out a bit. So I found the same title in the ephemera pack, and I've used those instead. I thought that they just suited the page a bit better. So I fussy cut some of the florals out of one of the papers in the Daydream collection and added those to my builder flowers as well. They just complement each other perfectly. That cut file, you could probably use that with every collection and paint it or cut it in a different colour and adapt it to suit that collection. I can't see how there'd be a more versatile cut file than build a flower. It's just perfect. So I've added a couple of sort of gold thread bundles in. I'm just adding a little area to add some journaling. I quite like those little fabric puffy hearts. I've hardly used any of them, so I'd quite like to start using those as well in some of my layouts. So I've just sped up me adding some sequins. Those are just the sequins that come with the collection. And a little bit of gold splatter. I love a bit of gold splatter. Off camera, I've also added some of the cork heart Peartree pieces as well, which you'll be able to see in the close-ups that are coming now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.